Hi there, my name is Carolyn. Thank you so very much for joining me. I'm here to talk about spiritual fasting and the benefits of why it is so important if you're called to do this fasting and the health benefits of it. We could be a little bit nervous to do fasting or feel like wondering if it's going to damage our body, but in fact, it's quite the opposite, especially if you're taking this on from a perspective of cleansing and clearing. And so the way that God has talked to me about this is it's a mind, body, heart, and soul reboot. And there's definitely times when we're going through the spiritual growth process, the ascension process, through Kundalini awakening, that our bodies naturally are detoxing. You might have experienced many times where you're forced to not be able to eat due to nausea and just detoxing, basically, as your body's purging itself of things that are no longer serving it. And it's usually related, the digestive system, around the chakras and the energy, the solar plexus and power. However, when we're upgrading and our body's moving through the energies very quickly, it can need a rapid release through the body, through the vehicle as well, that can force a purge of the system. And that at those times you'll feel like just drinking water. You'll need more rest. You need to eat lighter. You can't take things on the liver, basically, that you might normally be able to eat or ingest. So just so you know, there is very, very positive benefits to fasting. So we have things like cleaning out the old DNA. So now that we're stepping into this new earth trinity, this Holy Grail union for many of you now in 2019, after April 2019, we're really free and have this upgrade for those of you that have been putting in this major work of ascension and have new DNA coming in here. And through fasting is when we can purge out the old DNA out of the body, clean out the toxic debris that we've been purging and releasing through all the 5 bodies. So if you're having emotional releases, those can still come out through the vessel and stagnate in the body if you're not releasing them. And it can just feel like sluggishness. You can have weight gain in certain areas. That I'm hearing cyclical cycles, that these cyclical cycles of debris have been built up in the body. And when we're fasting, it redirects the cells to start killing off or dying off this debris, the toxic things that you've added into your system over the years. So really it's a benefit because it's cleaning, it's actually recycling what's not serving you out of your body, and you're having this die off. It's also very positive for cleansing the body of viruses. It promotes the die-off of bacteria, of mold, of fungus in the cells as well. And also it cleanses the brain. So neurological diseases can be heavily reduced from doing fasting. And the cells will begin to repair themselves. New immune cells will start to create in the body as well. So you get healthier as the inflammation reduces. Your body releases the stagnation. Your hormone levels balance. Of course, you're going to get weight loss with this as well. But I also feel like we can have massive muscle gain. We can actually build our strong muscle body mass through this process. And it's not that we're not, there's different types of fasting. So I'll talk about that in a moment, but we're not necessarily needing to go on for days and days without eating to achieve this level of cleansing. There's also major health benefits on the skin. So as we go into this autophagy stage of the body starting to cleanse and clear itself, it can cleanse and clear the skin of scar tissue, of wrinkles, of cellulite, these sorts of things. So it's a rejuvenation of youthing, anti-aging benefits. So not only are you internally becoming much healthier and reducing things like cancers and inflammatory diseases, neurological diseases. You're also on the exterior becoming more healthy looking, and your vitality, your energy is improving. You have more, you'll be in your overflow. And you also have repair of physical injuries within the body as well. So you might have recurring injuries or long-term injuries that haven't repaired themselves. And this process allows your body to naturally begin clearing itself of damage in the scar tissue as well. And also for the higher spiritual benefits of this, with this clearing of the body, it creates this mindfulness. And this is part of the anti-inflammation, especially in the brain, in the blood, in the cells, which does affect the neurological pathways, but as well from chemicals, from addictions. It's going to be easier to find, to notice your patterns with food and eating and possibly other addictions as well. So it creates your separation between yourself, your higher self, your soul self, and your vehicle, where you can look at this as a way of healing your vehicle and focusing on your higher self as a separate being. And so this is more of a time of meditation and using this fasting energy into quiet, redirecting that into going into prayer, as they do in holidays like the Ramadan. They're focusing more on prayer during this time, and self-reflection and breaking free of addictions and things that are really holding you back in life, and seeing these patterns, and it gives you an opportunity to break them. Also, it does give you that rebalance of the body, mind, heart, and soul. So it gives you the opportunity to really reset everything from ground zero, and including your spirituality and going within. And that time of fasting is just brings the third eye and the higher chakra channels to much more wide open states of being in these, when we are in that light vibration, because we're not being weighed down by food, basically, which is very grounding. But it can, if you're trying to be in the upper chakras, it's definitely better to have lighter foods or have these stages of fasting. So intermittent fasting is where we're going to get these long-term benefits of the autophagy, and it's more sustainable. So you can do things for like, as they do with Ramadan, it's new moon to new moon, or you can just do a month cycle or 30 days of fasting for 16 to 18 hours and then eating for those 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. And you want to ideally get down to 4 to 6 hours a day as you move through this process. There other options are fasting for 2 to 3 days at a time, and or if you want to incorporate 1 day a week ongoing, or 2 days a week where you could split them up, like on a Wednesday and a Friday that you're going to do fasting, or on a Monday, after a weekend of eating more and being social, for example, that you might want to take that Monday to fast and get your body back centered and cleaned out again and clear-minded again. So these are all the ways that and there's, I'm sure, other ways. So you really have to listen to your own body. To definitely do this only if it's if you're in a very solid state of health and well-being. During my Kundalini awakening, I was definitely forced to do this fasting. There's no way I was physically strong enough to intentionally fast on my own, but it was happening regardless. So you'll know where you're at, and if your body's doing it naturally, if your own ascensions, that you've already been going through this, then I wouldn't intentionally do this. But if you're healthy and you're strong, and you're even if you want to see a doctor just to see if you're in the right state to start doing a fast, that would definitely be recommended. And of course, during the time of eating, it is best to eat healthy foods. But this isn't about the diet aspect of it. It's more about the spiritual benefits of taking that time to fast. So thank you so much for listening and joining me. And please let me know if you've done this before and the benefits you've noticed yourself of doing fasting and intermittent fasting and long-term fasting, And I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do Kundalini Awakening videos, spiritual awakening videos, as well as I tune into the weekly spiritual ascension energies, the new earth ascension energies each week on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much again. I love you. Take care. Be blessed. Bye.